Yeah, I'm 80. I'll be 80 in June.
And you have some conditions like you.
I have the pacer, heart pacer, and my diabetic is supposed to be a diabetic, but I usually don't claim it.
We got together as a family, some of my nieces, my sister, my mom, and my daughter, and we decided to go downtown and get ready. We're getting ready for a wedding in our family, and we're also getting ready for two grads. There's two of my mother's great granddaughters who are graduating from high school and getting ready for post-secondary education, and so we all went out to get ready and got fitted for weddings and getting grad dresses. And so my mom came along. My mom likes to get out, and she gets tired easy, but she still likes to get around. And this is a very special occasion for us. And we decided we still need to get a few things, so we decided to walk over to the Portage Place Mall, and so we went in there. And the girls were busy, so we walked slowly around in Portage Place Mall, my mother and I, and she gets tired easy. She's older, she's an elder, and she needed to stop, and so we sat down, and there was really not a bench. There was a bench on the other side of the clock, but that was quite a ways for her to walk, and so we just sat down there on the planter, and my daughter came by, said, "We're done. I'll meet you with you." She says, "I'm going to go get the vehicle because Grandma can't walk far, and we'll pick her up and right here in the back of Portage Place." And then the security guard came up to us and said, "You can't sit here." And I said, "We're just waiting for a ride, and we will be gone. She just needs to sit down." I said, "My mother's 80 years old." I did explain to him that she is an elder, and she's 80, and I said, "I'm not going to move her. It's just too far for her, and it's just for a little while. We're going to get picked up." And he says, "Well, we can't have any favoritism with anyone. She has to move." And I said, "I'll get up. I'm younger, and I can stand. That's no problem. But my mother," I said, "is not going to get up. She needs to sit down." And then he said, "We can't favor anybody." And then another security guard came by, and he was a more aggressive, and he said, "You have to get up and leave, to get up and get off the planters." And I said the same thing. We just have a few minutes. The car's getting pulled up, and we're leaving. And I'm not going to let my mother get up. She's old. I told him, "She's old," and I said the word old, and she's not leaving. She just let her sit. And then he says to me that I needed to leave because he said, "You're rude, but she's okay. She's kind. You could leave, but you need to leave," or something. I forget what he said, but that I was rude. And so I just picked up for my mom. I said, "No, I can't, and I can't leave my mom alone in a mall by herself." And I said, "No, I'm not leaving my mom." And he said, "You have to leave the mall." And he said, "You are officially kicked out of the mall." And I said, "For what? Like, what did I do? What did I do?" All I did was I picked up for my mother.
What I didn't like was when she took up for me, and they picked on her quite a bit for that because she stood up for me, and that's what I didn't like, and I would really hurt to see her get hurt.
It was just going to be a few minutes. And he says, "There's a bench over there. She can go walk and sit over there." I said, "She's not moving. She's staying right there." And then my little sister came, Paulette, and she's heard what was going on. She says, "Are you serious?" She said that to the security guard. And then he said that we were all rude, and then he said, "You all have to get out." And my little sister Paulette kept saying, "Are you serious? Are you serious?" And he said, "Get out." And so I picked up my mother, and my sister and we grabbed our mother, and we started walking out the building. And then he says, "I don't care if she has a heart attack." And then my little sister turned around and said, "Are you serious?" I said, did he say that? And she said, "Yeah, he said that." And so we walked out the building, and we were outside and waiting for my truck to come forward, to pick us up. And two gentlemen chased after us. And they said to us, "We saw everything. We heard everything. You guys didn't do anything wrong." And he said, "If you need us to speak for you and tell everybody what happened, we'll tell." He gave us his phone number, and he says, "Don't let this go." He says, "Nobody should treat elders like that." And he says, "Nobody should treat your people like that." And he says, "And you need to complain to the security people," he said. "And if you need me," he says, I'll be there."
Well, it was a Saturday afternoon, and I was in the mall. My way coming out of the mall, like at an exit side, happened to be when an elderly lady and a mid-age female sitting down. Two security guards approached them, told them that they couldn't sit at that location, and they told them to sit at the bleacher. The lady was very polite, told them, her mom or grandmother, I'm not quite sure which one it was, that she was an old and she couldn't get up, but she has no problem getting up, and she was waiting for a ride. Security guard insisted that they had to get up and move, and somewhere to the end, she helped her mom or grandmother get up, and once she got up, she asked the question. She said, "What is the problem if she sat there for a few more minutes longer?" Security guard replied and said, "You know what? You could go outside and wait for your ride then." She said, "No, I can't do that." And he said, "Yeah, he insisted that now that she's being difficult, she has to go outside and wait for her ride." And I was thinking in my head, I'm like, "Well, how's she being rude here?" And somewhere to the end, he's like, he said if she doesn't leave the mall, he's gonna write a trespass for her. And a third lady sort of came in the conversation and being polite, and he replied and said, "You know what? You can stay with the older lady, but she has to go outside." Again, I'm thinking, what has she done here? And lady walked outside and says, "That's ridiculous." And the security guard replied saying, "Yeah, go outside and I hope you have a heart attack." And I was like, wow, right? And the actual lady, the third one that sort of was involved in the conversation, looked back and says, repeated the word heart attack, and is like, "Yep, I hope she gets a heart attack." I just couldn't believe what happened there. And I was actually thinking in my head, I'm glad you're a security guard. What would you do if you had police uniform or a cop uniform? How would you react? How would he acted? Anyways, I stepped outside and I spoke to the lady. I told her, you shouldn't let that happen to you. You shouldn't let them walk away with that kind of thing. Because, I'm from Toronto and I grew up in a culture where, senior citizen always has the first right, then comes, children and women, and totally what I was seeing was just ridiculous, especially in this country. Things like that shouldn't be acted like that. I told her, I gave her my name, my phone number, and I said, if you need any help, or I told them you should talk to the management, and you should also talk to the security guard company, and something should be done on that. What I think should be done, I think those two guards should not be working at that location. That's their first punishment. Second of all, I think their company, so the security guard company and the mall or the management has to write an apology letter for that elderly lady. She does not deserve that kind of action, right? You know, we've been always taught, you know, senior citizen always has the first right. So that was not what happened. So someone has to apologize to her. And I think those two gentlemen should, you know, either, you know, do some sort of go back to their training course of how to, you know, how to deal with their job and work on some other location for their punishment.
I don't know if I'd want to meet with him or tell him. But I sure wouldn't mind if I had an apology from him, though. You know, and for my daughter, too. Yeah.
Do you think someone like that should be working in that profession?
No, I don't think he should be working,
Would you
no.
rather call for his resignation?
I'd rather that he resigns from that position. I think they should put somebody else there that understands our people better than that, you know, and older people.
The managers, that we want apologies to my grandmother. We also want the security business that has these people working here to bring awareness to them that we are tired of abuse on our people, because it's not only my grandmother that's being abused by them. There's a lot of Anishinaabe people in this mall that can say that what they've been going through, and this is the reason why we're here, because we're sick and tired of this abuse to our people, and this is why we're here. And we're here to bring my grandmother because my grandmother was afraid after this incident. She didn't even want to go into the stores. What kind of thing is that when an elder, who's our wisdom carriers, are being abused by these places that are supposed to be for her to go enjoy herself? So that's what we're here for, and we have a lot of people here that needs to be spoken to because a lot of them have been abused.
We also feel that other people see that risk, so we want those security guards removed from this place, because I'm not going to come here if the security guards are going to work here that have abused this elder. I'm not coming here.
Boycott! 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 And we'll tell our people. Tell our people that we are tired of this, and we'll boycott this mall or any place that abuses our people. And we're going to be straightforward with this. And our people, I know, will support that because this is a grandmother.
There's other places to spend our money.
There is other places.
There's other places to spend our money, guys. Remember that. He should be totally dismissed.
Today there are going to be announcements about accountability and transparency relating to First Nations leadership coming from the Conservative government. So to know that those types of things continue at the national level, while on the ground here in Winnipeg at Portage Place Mall, our elders of every nation are consistently being disrespected, goes to show us how important our work with Idle No More really is. We have to try not only to raise our voices, not only to come together and send one strong message like we're doing right now, but our actions have to match the words that we say here today. So if we say we are displeased with Portage Place, that means from now on, we don't shop here ever again. Part of Idle No More is education, and we need to educate all people that are working in our malls, in all of our different places that have to interact with our people and our elders. These security guards, these staff people need sensitivity training. They need to hear from elders directly, and they need to understand that the impact that they have when they disrespect our elders impacts all of us.